Okay. Well, hello, everybody. How many people have I got here? Is anyone here? I don't know. Oh yeah, we got a few viewers. So let me know if you can hear me. Is the sound working and all that kind of good stuff? And I'll tell you where I'm at. So I just started a new game. This is in relaxed mode, so it won't be too stressful. I hope. I've never played in relaxed mode. I don't know how good it is. Anyway, and I started the game and it plopped me onto a radioactive planet. So that's where I'm at right now. And I immediately ducked into a cave so that there's even less stress and I can just look around and maybe gather a few resources. So it says I have to repair my scanner, which is pretty typical. What is this? Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, that's not ferrite dust, that's sodium, but that's good to have. Gotta go shoot some rocks. Okay, sounds a little low. I'll try to speak up a little more clearly. Anyway, so I fired this thing up, and I'm impressed so far. So it was quick. Usually I play on my Linux machine, which is kind of old and funky, but it was the only thing that this worked on. And usually it takes a while to start up. It's not speedy. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise when I fired this up, and there's a brief delay while it starts. And then presto, I'm in. Where are some rocks now? I gotta find some rocks. Keep shooting plants, but there's gotta be rocks around here somewhere. Right there, yes. Anyway, so it was super quick. I'm in the game right now, and it's gorgeous. It's butter smooth, just moving around. Graphics look pretty good. So this is a good sign. Now this game just dropped for the Mac OS this week. So who knows, there may be unpleasant surprises, like maybe it's going to crash all the time. I don't know. Yes, there are glowing mushrooms, all this kind of stuff. Even these hazardous planets like this one, it's only mildly hazardous, but even planets like this that are radioactive, they went out of their way to make it pretty. Okay, I bet you I got enough to fix this. We fix our scanner. Oof. Okay, and now I think it should tell me where my ship is. Oh, I have to install that. Okay. Technology recharge. Am I missing something? Oh, do I need that? I bet you I need that. Technology installed. So anyway, basic stuff. I just gotta throw together a few things and get everything functional, and then I gotta go find my ship before I die, because I think I mentioned it's a radioactive planet. Convergent, you are expecting too much from this game if you think it's going to be a good model of evolution and convergent evolution. There's a lot of similarities between different types of planets. And everywhere you go, there's all these critters, these same species living there. So, yeah, there's a few shortcuts here. I would hope that it would be a little bit more randomized, but okay, it's also got to be playable. Okay, hey, this is actually moving pretty nicely. I'm happy with this. Oh, that won't work. We just have to worry, you know, that at some time it's going to crash on me. I'm coming into this with a very pessimistic position. But it's working pretty smoothly so far. Okay, I'm not gathering enough resources as I go. I know I'm supposed to get a whole bunch of stuff here. Well, here, give me some oxygen. Yeah.
Radiation protection falling.
Okay, so then I run around and gather resources for a bit. Look at the weird creatures. My whole goal is to find my spaceship and fix it and then fly off somewhere. What are my machine specs? Well, this is one of the nice things I have discovered about Mac, is that there are budget Macs out there, and this is one of them. So this is the Mac Mini. It cost about $600 when I bought it new. It's got the M1 chip and 16 gigs of memory. So yeah, I wouldn't call it a low-end machine, but it's, you know, it's not the top of the line or anything, and it works pretty well. I kind of expected that it wouldn't work as well here because, hey, this is a game. As we all know, you can't play games on Macintosh. But that's not true. Maybe this is going to be a renaissance for Mac gaming if more people take advantage of these new M1 chips or M2. No, I don't have an M2. I told you, this is my budget machine. Okay, run around and do basic things. Maybe what I should do is, once I get in my ship, I will play with the graphics specs and see how that works. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I don't need any living slime. Get out of here. Is that music getting a little loud? It feels like it. Let me turn it down a bit. No, it's down to 15%. That ought to be fine. Okay, I'll take that. I do not have the Atlas Pass. There's my ship. It's on fire. But it will protect me from radiation, so I'll jump in here. Okay, you say it is a bit too... Okay, I will do what I can. Once this gets through. Okay, okay, come on. Yes, I'll read the log. All right, we will try to repair ship systems. And... okay, and first though, I will turn down the sound a little bit more. Let's see. 10% for each. Okay. Anyway, let's see. I have to repair things. I think that means I need to make some plating, and I didn't collect any dihydrogen while I was wandering around. Let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. So this is the basics of the game. It's a survival game. You got to get out there and find resources and then craft stuff to keep yourself alive. And then once you've accomplished a bit of that, you can do the fun part. Things like going out and finding pirate systems and raiding them and combating bad guys, fighting giant robots, stuff like that. But we're just at the basics here. Okay, so I said I would try. Let's play with the graphics options. Yeah, I had to tell it to put it in Celsius, because why would anyone use Fahrenheit? Okay, where are my settings? Okay, right now I'm on high for everything. Let's see what happens if I switch everything to ultra. Will it break? And then there's some things here. I have no idea what these do, so I won't worry about it. Oh, I need to. Okay, maybe I won't do that. Still, this is the high settings. That's pretty good. Performance, I have no complaints. And have you noticed it hasn't crashed once? So they must be doing something right. Oh, but it's nighttime. I want to see it during the day. It's got to look prettier during the day, right? Okay. Well, I can go see what else I can fix. All right, we have a broken engine. Yes. Fix that. What do I need to fix? Oh. Okay, we have to get these blueprints in order to build things. So I'm going to have to do that. And I'm going to need pure ferrite and... Okay. Got a bunch of things we have to make. I can make that. Okay, we don't need that. This one. Oh, daytime. Now I can see what it's like in the light. Walk out into the woods on a moonless night, kill your light, and wait for your eyes to adjust. Yes, that is a good thing to do also when you're hunting for spiders. So we've got a little UV flashlight, and we got these headlights that we can use. And you just go out late at night, let your eyes adjust, you turn on the lights just a little bit, and the spiders were interested in having tapetum, so they reflect the light. You would just be surprised how many bushes are full of spiders. Okay, I probably still need. Oh, all right. Probably still need a bunch of stuff. So, in other fun news, besides playing games, this morning Mary was working in the garden and she found our first tetragnathid of the season. So that was nice. just living in the garden.
Technology.
And we actually saw a whole bunch of webs out there too, so we think there's a lot more. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Yesterday, we went on an exciting trip to Glacial Lake State Park, and we found all kinds of cool stuff there. So interesting spiders, but also things like there were dragonflies and damselflies all over the place. It was very nice. I took 2 students with me out there to introduce them to the joys of spider hunting. Taught them a little macro photography. Uh, we just did some documentation of what kinds of things we can find out there. So I have a student this year who's very interested in diversity. And in particular, she's interested in doing comparisons of various things like, this is a green campus, but it's still got your traditional lawns everywhere. And we don't think they're quite so great for biodiversity. So she's got a project where she is going to be comparing, she's going to compare a location on campus, which is all mowed and green and the usual. And then also we're going to do, we're also going to compare it with the animals we find in a little patch of my yard. So we are setting aside a patch of my backyard with no mowing allowed for the rest of the summer. And we're just going to put out some pit traps and do some sweep net stuff and see what's living there. And then we have this one interesting place in town, which is out by the subway in town. There's this stretch along a railroad there that is all covered with trees, and it's terribly neglected. And every August we go out there and we find Argiope, the giant yellow spiders thriving there, which you only get if you've got lots of insects for them to feed on. So we're going to set up some traps and sample diversity there too, and then do the comparison. We have done some preliminary stuff, and we've discovered a few problems. Like, it turns out you can't do this if it's a lawn that's got automatic sprinklers in it, because if you put out traps, you'll come back and find all your lovely arthropods have drowned. So, yeah, so we don't like that. So we're looking for locations where we can do interesting stuff with it. What is that? Tetranathids. They're interesting spiders. They're orb weavers, so they make the nice orb webs. But the interesting thing about that makes them instantly recognizable is when they're on their web, they take their forelimbs and they put them straight out in front of them, and their hind limbs straight back, so they look like a twig sitting in the web. They're pretty easy to spot. And they're called tetranathids because they got great big chelicerae. They're kind of cute that way. Okay, I can fix that. All right, and it says I have to go get something from here. So it's looking like it's going to be a busy summer. I got 2 students working with me over the summer. Liz is going to be going to the American Arachnology Society conference with me at the end of this month. And so we're busy putting a poster together. You can't see it, but out of the corner of this window, I can look over there and I can see it, the poster glaring at me and saying, finish me, get to work on me. So we're going to be working on that this week, get it done. And Juniper is the one who's going to be doing all this, the potentially interesting diversity experiments. The dream is we get a whole bunch of data and then we confront the university administration and tell them, what kind of green university is this? You're not doing everything right. So that's part of our plan. Let's see, I am supposed to go. Oh, I have to look at the chart.
Navigational data received.
So we're working on this big poster, which is it's titled "Post-Embryonic Development of Steatota triangulosa," and we've got growth data and things like that. And that's going to be the bulk of the poster, is just saying, here's how we raise these spiders, here's some methods, here's some protocols, and then also we're going to have all these charts of development, comparisons of male and female growth, that kind of stuff. It's all going to be there. And then also we're making some promises. Here are the things we're going to be doing this next year. One of the things we're doing is embryonic development. So Liz is going to be busy looking at embryos. So we've got a bunch of egg sacs. We're going to look at them and just pull out embryos, collect some data, photographs, do some staining, all that kind of stuff, and chart out their development. Because the standard lab spider to work with nowadays is Parasteatota, which is lovely, and it's got some nice advantages. It's really fast. It takes 10 days from freshly laid egg to a new hatchling that you can start growing up. So that's nice. Disappointing about Steatota triangulosa, it takes 30 days for them to do the same thing. So we're going to be working on recording all that, doing a comparison of Steatota and Parasteatota. So that's what we hope we'll present next year. In addition, I got some other fun things that we're going to be doing in the next month that we hope will get done in time to throw on the poster. One that's kind of neat is, those of you on Patreon know I posted about this, that we found some Steatota triangulosa, that's the species I work with, and they were practically solid black. It was weird. And for a moment I was excited. I thought, oh, we found a new morph of Steatota. And so we brought those back to the lab, and we set them aside and started raising them. And then, to our surprise, as we were feeding the lab diet, within about a week or two, they lost the dark color. They were no longer a solid black. They looked like the conventional Steatota triangulosa with interesting pigment patterns and all that. So that was interesting. It turns out it's not a genetic morph at all. It's probably a dietary morph. So we were feeding them on the usual lab diet, which is Drosophila and mealworms, and they were thriving on that. And they turned pale. Well, I shouldn't say pale. They got the nice typical pattern growing on them. And then we tried something a little different, because when I caught these, well, actually I should admit, it's my wife and granddaughter who caught them. When they caught these spiders, they were surrounded with the drained husks of sow bugs, isopods. And that gave us a hint to what they were eating when they were out in the wild. So what we did then is I fed them sow bugs. And guess what? They started turning black again. So that's kind of neat. So we can change their color fairly routinely with just their diet. So I want to confirm that we got to take some of my existing stock, which are all they have the nice white or yellowish patterns on them, and we're gonna take a look at those and see what happens if we feed them sow bugs. Do they turn black as well? And I'm gonna take the ones that are turning black and feed them mealworms and see if they change color again. I kind of suspect they will. So ideally what will happen is we'll put this project together I think we can whip out some quick results in a couple weeks, and then at the last minute we'll paste it into the poster if it all works. We haven't mentioned it in our abstract, so that's kosher. We can do that. But that would be really interesting if we have a dietary variant that we can easily obtain. There's my hermetic seal. Okay, I'll be able to fix my ship. Another project I'm going to try real quick is the way we grow these spiders. They're grown in these little 600 milliliter boxes, and I put a little wooden frame in there for them to climb on, because otherwise it's just plastic. You know, these are spiders. They'd rather have some natural environment. So we make these little rectangular wooden frames and we throw them in there. And I just realized, hey, this could simplify analyzing spiderweb development. Because now you've got a cobweb, which is normally a three-dimensional structure, and we've reduced it to 2 dimensions. So I'm also going to whip out some quick observations. I think at best all we can get out of this is a preliminary bit of data where we demonstrate the feasibility of growing spiders in these environments and getting patterns in their cobwebs. So yeah, so we'll also do that. It's going to be a full poster. We got lots of stuff we're doing. We just have to nail down a few things, because you don't want to go in and present a poster that's kind of half-assed, where you don't have confirmation of the experiments you were doing. So we're gonna at least do that, even if it's not fully fleshed out, even if it's not quantitative yet. And then the hope is that over the semester, the coming fall semester, I draft another student or two who's interested in this sort of thing, and we do some time-lapse photography of cobwebs being made or something like that. So that'll keep us busy. Oh, aren't you cute? What is that?
Units received.
Oh. Analyze object. Yeah, okay, I will.
Radiation protection falling.
So anyway, the lab is really heating up. That's good. So we're also planning to publish some of this stuff this year. It's kind of a weird niche to be the guy who does one specific species of spiders, but I think it's good to have this kind of information out there, because you never know, that if we're going to be doing some comparisons. Oh, let's shoot something. Anyway, so the idea is that, yeah, this is not tremendously exciting right now, but if you're interested in evolution and development, you want to have a range of species so that you can do comparative work. So that's our hope, is we'll have a body of things that we can do to establish all that. And then in my spare time I play games, right? And write a blog. Okay, let's get back to the ship. Then we should be able to fly. And once I confirm that I can get airborne, then I think we'll wrap this up. Unless people have questions. Do you have questions for me? I've been spilling the beans on all these neat projects that we have planned in the lab. So we're going to be working on that. And also just as a sideline, we're doing this thing where all of the research students that are here in the summer, from all the different disciplines, we have a weekly lunch out on the campus mall So we're just going to be getting together regularly and socializing, because that's an important part of science, is communicating stuff, talking to other people. So that's the agenda, is to do that. And then my lab, and maybe another lab or two, we'll see if they're interested. I know they expressed some initial interest. Then we're also going to do these roughly bi-weekly field trips. So yesterday we went to Glacial Lake State Park, and that was encouraging. We got some good stuff there. And then also we're talking about that this our university has something called an eco station. It's very rough at this point. We had a donation of a big chunk of land up north of here near Ashby, and it's a beautiful piece of land. It's been neglected, which is exactly what we want, because it's got a lot of natural things growing there. It's got a nice lake in the middle of it, all that kind of good stuff. And we got a little trail going around the lake. And the idea is that eventually, it's in the planning stages, eventually we're going to have a little field station out there where we can do, lectures and programs and invite people out and bring students in and all this kind of cool stuff. So that eco station is it's maybe 45 minutes north of us. So I want to take care of that. I want to be part of that, where we're building all of that stuff up. So those are things that'll keep us busy this summer. I've also got to find time in here, besides playing games, to go visit my granddaughter. It would be really nice if I could go to the Pacific Northwest and visit my grandson as well. We'll see. Anyway, I can take off. Look, we fly. Oh, there's some other ships passing by. It's a very crowded universe here. Well, hello, you guys. Let me just pass you right by. And I think it then tells me I have to do some tests. Yeah. Okay. We'll do a little flying here. Oh. They expect us to learn the controls for flying these things, so they kind of coach us through these bits and pieces. Let's see, do I have a space station up here yet? Not that I know about. And I'm also not equipped to leave this system. But let's just take a look what other planets we have here. Ooh, skeletal planet. That sounds fun. And this is the one I was just at. Oh, I have to test the pulse engine some more. Okay. Everything works. And it's smooth and beautiful. And we've got an incoming message. Radio works. Nope. This is the start of a quest line, and I'm not going to follow through with that today. Okay, we got data. But
navigational data received.
I have to check. Is this oh, it's got 4 planets? Where are the other ones? Oh, there they are. Just gotta see if there's anything good here. Oh yeah, Paradise Planet, that's good. So I'm just gonna visit the Paradise Planet, and then I'll let you guys all go. Oh, what? There. Okay, do people have any questions? So I kind of spilled the beans on all the things I got planned for the summer. Oh, the color. Yeah, this is another way they cheat, and they get a greater diversity of planets is they change the colors of things. I mean, that's got to be easy to randomize. Yeah, so you go to some planets and, oh sure, they got green grass and blue oceans, but you're more likely to find purple grass and red orange oceans or something like that. It does make for a pretty game. It gets very colorful at times. And sometimes they do weird video effects for various planets. So, and I'm just impressed. You know, this hasn't crashed once and everything is moving very smoothly. This is an eminently playable game. Okay, what we got? It's also got copious fauna and flora. It's got occasional sentinels. Sentinels are the bad robots. And this is just some useful stuff. Navigation data. I don't want to pass it up as long as I got it here. Okay. Well, that was easy. We made good progress here, even though I was talking about all this stuff. Platylobium. How? How what? Oh, that's a bad guy. But he's fairly calm right now. Alright, so I'm going to get out of here, and that will save the game. And then I'm going to quit, and I will talk to you all later. Nice light little live stream. Talking about spiders, but showing you weird planets in space. Yeah, oh, there's something weird skittering by. Some of the planets have crab-like or spider-like creatures on them. As you know, everything converges on crabs, so that happens every once in a while. Okay, thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go put this away. And like I said, I have to work on a stupid poster. No, it's a brilliant poster. It's going to be a great poster. Okay, let's zip out of here. And I will end the stream. Talk to you later.